welcome to the video. We're just here with the charger in the shop. We're going to be heading out. We got a 5-hour drive down to Barrie to pick up a car hauler. We got a lot of projects coming this summer, and we're going to be needing to move them around, bring them to shops, get safeties on them. So we're going to head down there now, and we got a lot of parts to unbox after when we get back. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so here we are in Barrie. Just picked up the trailer. Everything's looking good. The weather was not too bad. It's a long drive. We're just gassing up. Also picked up a Chevy Vega hatch for a future build, so we're going to have to get a better look at that when we get back to the garage. Hey guys, it's the next morning. We got back really late last night. No problems with the trailer. We kept an eye on it all the way back. Towed really nice. I just want to give you guys an update this morning. Then we're going to get back into the shop and unbox some parts that we got to get some work done on the charger. Here's the trailer. It's a little dirty, but it did a real good job. It tows pretty good empty. Didn't lose any parts, so that's a plus. And I'm looking forward to using this trailer in the future to pick up some new projects coming this spring. So stay tuned for that. Alright, let's head into the garage. Let's get the charger uncovered and get some parts out. And let's get this all unboxed so we can take a look at the parts haul. Alright, there we go, perfect. So, what we got here is we got some cheapy stamped out rocker panels to fix some of that rust. Once we get some paint off there, we can take a look and see if we got enough metal to do some patch panels or replace the whole thing. I'm hoping to do just patch panels and we can cut them out of this. Next up, we got some parts for the capped C10 build. You guys are going to be seeing a video on that. We're partnered with Quantum Fuel Systems for the whole fuel system for that truck. And we will be doing a video on that truck shortly. Some 3-inch exhaust. We got some 3-inch header flanges, 3-inch exhaust turn downs with some clamps. This is all Summit brand stuff. And for mufflers, we have some 3-inch Dynamax race bullet mufflers. So those are going to sound nice. We got 2 of those, so we're going to do a true dual setup off the headers with some turn downs. I think it's going to look pretty good. As for the charger, we have a wiring harness from Vans Auto. See that? Perfect. I have a wiring harness from Vans Auto. This is a complete taillight harness for a 69 charger. I think it might actually fit 70 charger as well. So looks like a really good quality unit. We're going to get this in the car and hopefully get the taillights wired up. This is all OEM connectors and looks like a nice harness. Next up for the charger, we have a Borgeson power steering setup. If you guys seen in my previous post on my Instagram page, we went down to Summit Racing and I picked up a power steering pump for this car, which is currently under the hood on it. And these are the last kind of final pieces that we need. So we're going to be converting a stock steering column with this universal joint instead of using the old style rag joints. And then this part number is going to be 036425, and that's to convert a stock Mopar steering column, a 3/4 inch, down to the, I believe it's a 32 spline. I'll get you the part number off the box here. So the part number for the steering box is going to be 800126. That's for a big block, or sorry, that part number is going to be for a B-body Mopar. Let me just get this open here. There's the steering box. We're going to get that out and take a better look at it. So we're going to get that installed here shortly. Another box from Summit. We have we've got some more of the best sheet metal company around, Automotive Direct. We got some inner splash shields. So this car never came with inner splash shields. So I assembled the car as is with no inner splash shields in the fenders. As we look to get this car on the road in the next near future, we're going to want those splash shields in there to keep from dust, debris, rocks, water, and etc. from getting up into the fenders and the rockers and into the door channels. So these are going to be some nice units. Let's get one of these out. One of the best companies to buy sheet metal from, Automotive Direct. I've got nothing but good things to say about them. Their pieces fit remarkably well with very little work to them. So I'm looking forward to getting these installed. And we got one more box. Not sure. This is going to be another box from Vans Auto. This is a complete B-body Mopar going to be a complete B-body Mopar antenna. So one thing I didn't get with this car is the antenna. And as you can see, the hole in the fender is kind of a unique hole. And rather than just patch it or weld the plug in, we decided to go with an antenna. Not sure if we're actually going to use it. It's going to probably more be just for looks, but that'll fill up that hole, and we can maybe use it in the future with an aftermarket radio system or whatever we choose to do at that time. So other than that, I think we're missing a couple boxes, some stuff still in shipping, as you guys may or may not know. I'm up here in Ontario, Canada, so that can get a little bit frustrating. So as you guys may or may not know, I'm up here in Ontario, Canada. It's a pain in the butt to get parts over here. With shipping and duty, it takes almost twice as long as you guys down in the States. So we got a couple more boxes on the way, and we'll get those unboxed for you guys. We'll take a look at what we got. Some parts for the capped C10 build, and we got some parts for the 69 Charger. So once those get here, we'll unbox those. But as for right now, we're going to get to work. We're going to get some of this stuff out and get it installed. And we just had another package delivered. So we got, all this stuff's going to be from Vans Auto. We got a interior dome light lens. We got the reproduction dash bezel. It's a really nice piece. We got a rear license plate light. Looks like it comes with the bulb and the proper wiring out the back. That'll be nice, and a couple of dash vents to replace our super old ones that are all broken. They have all the tabs broken off the back for mounting them. So So we'll look at getting those installed today as well. And let's get this hood open. And there we go. So we got a bunch of stuff out of here. We actually have the whole steering column out of the car right now. And we can look at getting our new Borgeson power steering box installed. We got that header off the driver's side of the car as well. We actually have, you can see down there, we have a new mini torque starter that we installed this summer and a new DEI heat sleeve, so that's going to keep our starter nice and cold. Not heat soak it as much, hopefully make it live a little bit longer. And once we get the power steering box in, we'll get it connected to our new Borgeson power steering pump. So here's our new power steering box from Borgeson. It is a really nice unit. I believe the turning ratio is a little bit higher than stock. As you can see, very nice solid quality. It actually sheds a couple pounds off the stock unit. This is going to be a nice addition. It's going to really tighten up our steering. Looking forward to getting this installed, get it put on the car, and once all the snow's gone, we'll be testing that box out. We can do a review on it. So let's get it down there. As you guys can see, we got the power steering box in. It's looking good. Just need to get this header shoehorned in here and we'll be good to go. So this is why we picked up the Vega hatch. This is called the Vega hatch plug for a Dodge Daytona. This plug won't be going into this car. As you guys seen in previous posts, we spent a lot of time on that bottom rail and in the corners to get those looking a lot better. We patched all that. We're not going to be undoing all that by putting a Vega hatch and converting this thing to a Charger 500 or a Daytona clone. This hatch is going to be for another car that we have a line on that we're going to be looking at picking up hopefully this summer. That's going to be our next long-term project after this one's on the road. That one's going to be our Charger 500 / Daytona build. We're hoping to do that in the next couple years. But as you can see, the hatch is in fairly good shape. It's going to be a good donor piece to do that hatch mod on. Obviously we're going to have to shorten up the hatch and cut it to fit in between the buttresses. And we're gonna have a little bit of metal work. This lip is pretty solid. There's just a couple spots where it's a little ripe, mostly on the far corner there. But other than that, it's gonna be a nice piece to make another cool clone. So you guys will have to stick around and follow to see what we do with this hatch and how it's going to turn out. Alright, we got our taillight harness. Let's get it in there. One thing I wanted to show you guys just in regards to the taillight harness. So looking at these sockets, as you can see, if I'll zoom in, there's those two J, they almost look like a J hook. There's one on this side and there's one on the other. So one is actually shorter than the other, and that corresponds with your bulbs. So as you can see on the bulbs, you've got a little indentation right there that sticks out, and see they're actually at different, if the camera will focus, they're actually at different heights. So that's going to correspond with your sockets. Now while I was installing this harness, I realized that the outer taillights are different than the inners. The inners are a different style. They have the one power lug in the middle and then the ground on the outside. The J hooks for the actual light bulb are actually at the same length. So you're gonna need a different style bulb, such as this one that's got the little indentations on the outside of the bulb at the same height. So just keep that in mind when replacing bulbs or putting a new taillight harness in. Alright, we got all the light bulbs in. I just have it wired up here. So we just got the taillight harness wired up to a Milwaukee battery, and everything's working so far so good. So we're going to be installing our license plate light right into the bumper there. We're gonna find some nuts and bolts that'll work to mount this up, and we'll get that checked off the list. Good morning, guys. It's the next day. We got quite a bit of work done in the shop last night. Just opening up the shop for the day. Got a lot of stuff planned. I'm gonna get some more work done on the charger. Hopefully, gonna get this. Hopefully, gonna get the driver's side header in today. We gotta get some more welding wire. We ran out of welding wire for the MIG last night when we were working on the C-pillar and the charger there. So we still got a little bit more work to do there, a little bit more cleanup. Hoping to get some more stuff done today. Maybe get some patches made out for the rocker panels. Yeah, we're just going down the list, knocking out each job as they come up. Hoping to get the quarter welded out a little bit more as well. We're going to work our way down from that C-pillar down into the passenger side door jamb. We'll get that all welded out. If we got that all mocked up, we got to work on the lower corner. Get that all fitted properly, so hopefully we can be nice to get a little bit more welding done. That's the stuff that takes the most amount of time, right? We got our steering box in, we got to hook up our lines, and I'm just waiting on a hardware kit for that. We only have 2 of the original cross member, the K-member bolts for the steering box. We only have 2 of them. So we're gonna have to order a set of mounting bolts for the steering box. But so I didn't film it yesterday, but we also got our antenna mounted. I'm not sure if I'm committed to this antenna yet. It's a nice piece, but I don't know if I like the look of the antenna on a 69 charger. I might just end up using the lower bezels to make a block off plate instead. Yesterday we also got our radio bezel in. It's the black radio bezel. I thought I could use the wood grain face plating on it, but it's a little bit different, and it looks like I'm just gonna have to buy the repopped version of it for it to mount properly in there. So we did get the face plate on there. It's just gonna be hard to see without light. So I'm kind of undecided on that. I'll probably just run that bezel for the next little while, and down the road, cosmetic stuff doesn't really matter. We're worried about stuff that's gonna hang us up on a safety, right? So we're kind of focusing on that stuff. We got some nice dash vents that I showed you yesterday. Hopefully get those thrown in there today. Super simple, 5-10 minute job. It's more of a pain just getting under the dash and screwing them in, right? So yeah, other than that, we're gonna get some work done today. We also got the rear window trim clips in. I didn't film any of that just because once you get working, it's kind of hard to remember to get the camera out and record. So we got the trim clips in, so we're almost ready to put the back window in. Still a little bit of body work to do, and a little bit of metal work, and that window will be going. I just don't want to commit to putting that window in just because it's the butyl style. It's not an actual gasket, so we want to make sure everything's good to go for the back window. The quarter panel's all welded out. I mainly wanted to wait for that just because I don't want welding sparks on it. So once the quarter panel's welded out and body worked, then we're pretty safe to put the back window in. Yesterday I showed you guys, I got on time lapse there, we put the rear license plate bumper light in. So we got that mounted up, so that's pretty sweet. Once again, all these little things take time and money to get it done for safety, so they kind of add up after a while. Yeah, so we're gonna get some work done today, see what I can film, and we'll kind of go from there. We're just knocking stuff off the list. Good morning, guys. We're just opening up the shop for the day. Let you guys turn it around and see what we accomplished last night. So late last night we brought the sled in. We're doing a little bit of work on that. As for the charger, we got quite a bit done yesterday. I didn't film getting the driver's side header in. I've had that exhaust on and off so many times, it was easier for me to just mess around with it. I was above and underneath the car a bunch, so it didn't really work out that way to get a good shot of it. We did get some other stuff done. We got the dash vents installed. You guys see me do that. We also got the rear seat belts in. And then we started to bodywork the quarter panel. We started to get that welded in. That'll still require a little bit of metal work. We're going to start working our way the rest of the way around the quarter panel. We already have this trunk gutter welded up. So we're going to move into the wheel arches. We have those all prepped, ready to be welded out. Gonna make our way around there, and I sat the replacement rocker on there just to kind of see what we're looking at for patches. I don't want to replace the whole thing just because it doesn't need it. Like we showed, it just needs a good chunk out of the face of it there. That'll be afterwards when we get this door channel welded up. We just gotta do a little bit of fit work to the door, make sure everything's all straight, and then of course along the bottom we gotta get that all welded out, and then this quarter will be done. Got quite a bit of work done yesterday. I'm pretty happy with it. We'll see what we can get done today. Welding and grinding takes a lot of time, so we'll see what we can get done. Another thing that took a little bit of time to finish yesterday was getting this drip rail welded back on. When you split the quarters from the roof, this drip rail actually spot welds into the back. So we got that all fixed up, and we got our trim piece put back on to line our door gaps. Just see where we're at with it. It looks pretty good, so we're gonna leave it at that. I'm hoping to get this quarter panel fully welded out, and we can put our interior door panels on. We got interior door panels on that side. I'd like to get the interior door panels and the seat and all the trim on, as well as all the weather stripping and trim that goes up along the top of the window too. So yeah, we're gonna go in, grab some breakfast, get some coffee, and we'll be back out here in a little bit and get some work done. gonna wrap up the work we got done this weekend. Let's head into the garage and take a look at what we got done. So as you guys seen, we got our power steering box in. We also got our driver's side header in. So the exhaust is all good to go. Did a little bit of work. I didn't film, but we did a little bit of work getting the top sides of the header flanges. They're actually hitting the castings on the head. And on the driver's side, we actually had the header flange hitting the casting, and there was a exhaust leak coming from that header. So we've got that sorted out. Hopefully in the spring, we'll have a little bit better O2 readings on the car, and hopefully that'll get the sniper a little bit more dialed in. It was jumping around on the O2 sensor in the air-fuel ratio mixture when we had the car out last year, but hopefully that fixes our problem. Other than that, we didn't really do too much in the engine bay. We didn't really get around to any wiring this time around, but we did get quite a bit done elsewhere on the car. We got our dash vents installed. So we got those new dash vents all mounted up. We have our antenna mounted. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this antenna just because I'm not sure if I like the way it looks on a 69 Charger. Plus we probably won't be utilizing a stock radio, so I might just end up using these bezels to make a block off plate instead. But we'll see about that. Before we jump into the interior, we got some metal work done. You've seen us weld in the C-pillar. We kind of roughed out that. It still needs quite a bit of metal work to go. So I'm going to be looking at getting one of those new Milwaukee band files. I think that'll be better than a grinder to kind of bridge this gap. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's taller in the roof and taller in the quarter, and this is meant to be leaded from the factory. From the factory, these cars came with a lead seam right here that bridges this gap. So we'll see about getting some high fill, like reinforced Bondo or something for that, and then we can finish out the metal work on this. We got our rear trim piece on the quarter glass. We just taped up this window just so it wouldn't be getting grinding marks, getting grinding sparks and welding marks and stuff and pitting the glass. So we got that done. Last night, me and my dad got the quarter panel tacked in with sheet metal screws. So as you seen in the video there, we are actually trying to get the quarter panel up enough to be in line with this body line. So now that it's close, we can just do the fine adjustment in the door to get that squared away. We have a little bit of welding on the bottom of the quarter we still need to do. You've seen us spot weld out the wheel lip. So our complete wheel lips been welded out. We just need to finish that up. There's a couple of spots to fill in on there, and we'll just throw a quick coat of paint on it so it doesn't rust, and that'll be good to go. You also seen us clean up some of the rear trim. This is all the rear window trim that we got cleaned up. Nothing crazy. We didn't even go and polish it. We just cleaned it up. This is a ratty Charger. We're not going to spend a couple hours polishing when we got a lot of metal work to do, right? So we got that done. Off camera, me and my dad found some trim that I had laying around from a parts assortment that I bought as kind of like a complete, just a bunch of parts that the guy had laying around that he wasn't using. I actually found the trunk trim. I had the L brackets for the quarters. I had these brackets, but I did not know I had the trunk trim. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if they don't reproduce this or they're harder to find, but that's an original Charger trunk trim. I wasn't sure if I was going to be a fan of the tail panel trim, but I think it looks pretty good. It kind of separates the blue trunk lid from the green end caps and the black quarter and the chrome bumper and the blacked out taillight section. I think it looks not too bad. Another thing we did quick was we cobbled in the valence extensions, the quarter panel end caps. We kind of just made that one fit. It's an original, and it was pretty badly beat up. My dad put a little bit of time into that one to make it fit, just bring it back up to shape. So we tacked that in there. No sense buying $200 valence extensions when they're there, right? So we got that finished. We got our taillight harness in, as you guys seen. We got that wired up to a Milwaukee battery. So we'll have to get the rest of the body harness finished up. And yeah, so we got quite a bit of progress on that. On the inside, we got the radio bezel fitted in there, and a handful of other things. We got you guys seen us put our seat belts in. We got the car all packed up, so everything's not laying around the garage, and we can get around in here. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna try and get another video out soon for you guys, and we'll touch base again. This car is hopefully going to be going within the next couple months to get a safety done on it. So I'll start checking those things off. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. We got a lot of stuff done. We're checking off those boxes to get this car ready to go out and get a safety and get this thing back on the road. I'm hoping, depending on parts and back orders and whatnot, I'm hoping to have this ready for the spring. As you guys can see, it is winter out right now, so there's no real rush to have the car ready to go and ready for safety right now, but we're hoping to have it ready for the spring. Get that car out there, get a safety on it. We still have a handful of things to do. We've got on order a steering column. We're going to get that back in the car and weld it up with our Borgeson Universal. Get some steering back in the car. We got some rear brakes to do. We're going to throw a drum brake kit at it and get that dialed in for safety. And we're going to get hopefully get the inner splash shields in. They are, I've got a seal kit, hardware kit, and we've got the inner fenders. You've seen us unbox those at the start of the video. And we'll keep checking those things off and get this thing ready for safety. Thanks.